Hello and welcome back to our last video for the Excel topic. And in this video I'm going to show you a practice test to help you with your assessment that's going to be turning up. And as I've said at the beginning, you're going to be doing a practical test for your assessment. So in this video I'm going to show you the type of question you can expect, how your design should look, and then we'll walk our way through a spreadsheet that is similar to what you're going to be doing, so you'll be as best prepared as possible. So let's get started. Well, the first thing is to have a look at our test paper. Let's work our way through that. It says calculates the total daily pay for each employee in the supermarket. So we need to find out how much each person is going to get paid per number of hours they've worked each day. Calculates the total weekly pay for each employee, including overtime, given the days worked and the total hours worked per day. So in short, once we have gone and found out how much money they have earned each day, we're going to add up all of the days they've worked to find their weekly salary. Number 3, calculates the total salary paid for all employees. So again, once we've done all the calculations for all of the employees, we'll simply do an adding up of all the figures for Monday and all the figures for Tuesday. Next one, provides additional calculations to enhance the provision of information within the spreadsheet. Now this I'm not going to go through, but you'll recall that you have looked at count and count if and the max and the mins and the average functions, and I'm sure you know a few more. So when you're doing your actual test, you'll need to enhance your spreadsheet with some other functions, and I'm going to leave that with you. Is formatted, structured, and supplied with instructions for use. So once you've created your spreadsheet, you'll need to put some text boxes around telling the user how to use the spreadsheet, and maybe give an explanation as to what figures they're seeing. It says the tables below provide the data you are to use in your spreadsheet. As the tables are linked, your spreadsheet will require the use of lookup tables. So there's a big clue. As part of our solution, we are going to need to use lookup tables. You might use HLOOKUPs, you might use VLOOKUPs, but you'll need to use a lookup table. Underneath, you are given two tables. The first one is raw data of hours worked by 3 employees. Underneath that is a table which is basically describing how many hours is your base rate. So normal hours is just 9. Anything over that can either be 20% or 35%, depending on how many hours they have worked. You'll also get an increased pay rate for Saturday and Sunday, and for any holidays you've worked. So we've had a look at the question. Let's go and have a look at the type of design that I would be looking at. So here we have a design. Notice that the lines are straight, so yes, you will need a ruler. But also notice that I've gone and got two things here. One, you will have written in the formulas that you are going to use. You will have annotated your design by telling me what is the raw data, what color background, what font size you are going to use. So your design needs to closely reflect your finished spreadsheet. Spend a little bit of time looking at the design, because you'll want to move past your design quite quickly, so you've got plenty of time to do your spreadsheet calculations. Let's have a look at the spreadsheet. Okay. So the first thing to note is this. We have several tables. Here is our first table, which we saw on our piece of paper. That shows the number of hours the various employees have worked. And this is raw data, so there's no calculations going on here. Underneath, we see that table again, which is explaining what the pay rate will be depending on what the situation is, i.e. how many hours worked, either under or over the base rate of 9 hours, or whether you work on a Saturday, Sunday, or at the weekend or holidays. Now, what we've got here is our two tables which we have converted from this. So we've got, if it's a base rate, you're not going to get an increase. If it's 10 hours, then that's going to be anything which is less than or equal to 3. So that would be 10, 11 or 12 hours. Anything like that, you're going to get a 25% increase. If it's more than 3 hours, well then that's 13 hours and over, and you're going to get a 45% increase. With weekend and holiday work, if you do 9 hours, you don't get any increase. But anything over 9 hours, you go straight to getting a 50% increase in your base rate pay. You will need to create tables similar to this, and please take note that, as I've said earlier, your table needs to be in ascending order, going from smallest to largest. If you do it in descending order, or the other way around, your VLOOKUP will not work. Next, let's see what we're going to do. I'm going to read out this statement and then I'm going to explain it. It says, if Monday is less than or equal to 9 hours, then Monday hours times the base rate. Else, Monday hours times the base rate plus Monday hours minus the base rate of 9 hours multiplied by the base rate times the weekday's hours worked. So, lots going on there. What I'm saying is this. If you have worked 9 hours or less, all you're going to get is the base rate of pay. However, if you have gone over the 9 hours, then what it will be your base rate plus the extra hours worked over those 9 hours, and you're going to get this new base rate, which is going to be dependent upon the weekend hours worked or weekday hours worked. So let me show you how to do this. We'll just focus on Peter Parker and Monday. We're going to start with an if statement. And we are interested in this number of hours here. So it's for Peter Parker on Monday. And we're saying if this particular cell is going to be less than or equal to 9, which is true, then all we're going to do is we're going to have the number of hours worked multiplied by the base rate. And in this case, he will be getting $135 for his work on Monday. However, if he'd gone and done more hours, well, then we've got this calculation to do. First of all, it will be his base rate of pay, so we can put that in. And we'll put it in brackets to say that do this bit first. So we put it in parentheses. So it's his base rate of pay plus his overtime. Now, his overtime is going to be whatever hours he's accrued. So let's just say he was on 10 hours instead of 9. We're going to subtract 9 hours. So that's all of his base rate pay. And what we would get would be the number of overtime hours he's going to have as extra rate. So what's this extra pay rate? How do we calculate that? Well, it's going to be multiplied by, and we open up another bracket, and we're going to say, well, it's going to be this base rate, and we've got to see what the increase would be. Now, this increase is going to be either 25 or 45, depending on the number of hours he's done. We need to use a VLOOKUP. So this is where our knowledge of VLOOKUP is important, because we can't always have it nicely laid out in blocks. We know that we need to put in the word VLOOKUP. So let's do that. We're going to open up a bracket, and the first thing we need to do is to find the lookup cell. So that's this one here, and we put in a comma. Now we're interested in the table itself, so we'll take this. Now we are going to make this an absolute cell reference, because when we fill down, we want the cells to stay absolutely where they are. So let's put dollar signs before here and here, and let's put dollar signs before the J and before the 12. Okay, next into here, and what we want to do is put a comma in, and we're looking to return whatever is in our second column. So let's put a 2 in, and then another comma. Now we're looking for a range, so it's not a specific one. If it was specific, we would be putting in false. Because it's a range, we're going to put in true. Now we need to do a bit of balancing. We need to make sure that we've got the same number of open brackets as the same number of closed ones. So I'm going to get rid of this speech here, and I'm going to have a close look. So we've got an open one here, that's 1. We've got another one here, that's 2. Oh, a closed one, so that's 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, 3. So I need to put in 4, 4, oops, 4, 4, 4, 5. Great. And then once that's all sorted out, I'm going to press return. Do make sure that you've got no apostrophes, and then press return. Okay, so here is our formula. Now then, let's see what happens if we fill down. Good, so if I just come out of this and make it a bit smaller, we'll see what we've got. Okay, so double click, we can see that we've got these, return, double click, and we're interested in this pay rate, fill down, and we're doing fine there. Okay, so we found Monday, but let's go and do at least Monday to Friday at the moment. Now if I fill across with just Peter Parker, we start to get a very strange number. Let's see what's happened. Oh, so what's happened is as we filled across, we're making it relative this one here. We want to take, as we fill across, absolutely don't move from that. So let's just highlight H4, which is fine. No, we don't want to do that. We want E4. So this needs to be this, and we need to make sure that our formula has got dollar signs in. So we're going to make this an absolute cell reference. This one and this one. And what I would do, I would grab that and I would go copy. And every time I see an E4, I'll be wanting to change that to D4 with absolute cell references. So paste and paste. Okay, so we're good with that. And I press return and we're good. So now let's do that, and then I'm going to fill across to Friday. So I have to do the same again, don't I? So I'm going to click here. Now I know that if I was to fill across, I'd have a problem. So what I will do for the D5 is I'm going to put in a dollar sign and another dollar sign, and I'm going to highlight. I'm going to go copy, and I'm going to go and paste. Paste and paste and press return. Okay, and then I should be able to fill across. Good. Right, next one. This one, well, like we've done before, let's put some dollar signs in. So lots of absolute cell references, and I'm going to copy and paste this one. So copy and paste and paste. Press return and fill across. Okay, so far so good. Now Saturday and Sunday. Well, we can see that we are going to need to put in different pay rates. So up here, it's not going to be 15 anymore. We've got to add 3, so it's going to be 18, and for Sunday it's going to be 19. So let's put an 18 here and a 19 there. And we're going to put a 3 on here, so that's going to be a 24 and a 25. And we're going to do a 15 and a 16. So we've got to put those in. Right. Now we've got them done a lot of hard work by doing all these formulas. So let's just simply move across and then just open it up and see what we can do to just alter it slightly. So here, what we want is not D4, we want E4. So what I will do is I'll just change the D to an E. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to go copy. And every time I see a D4, I'm going to put an E4. So we want that one and we want this one. There we go. And if I just click in here, we don't want to have this table. So I'm just going to drag it and I'm going to put it here. And I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. And you'll see that we have now got the new cell reference for this VLOOKUP table, and we've got the dollar signs in place. And so I can just simply press return and we have that. If I cross over again, well, we need to open it up, and you can see that we don't want Saturday, we want Sunday. So I'm going to have to look for F4. So we'll put this in here. There's F4. I'm going to take this, I'm going to go copy, and the same as well. So here we go, we're going to do paste, and this one, paste. We don't need to worry about changing the VLOOKUP because we've already gone and done that. Press return. When we do the same thing, really, what we can do is we could fill down and open up this one, and we'll see that we don't want that anymore. What we want is this one. and so we were looking for E5. So we've got E5 there. So I'm going to go copy, and as always it's just doing a little bit of pasting, paste and paste, and we've got Saturday's rate, we've got this lookup, and all is well, and press return. Let's keep going. So here we go, open up. As you can see, we're in the wrong place again. So I'm just going to go and click on that and grab and drag. So we're in E6, and more of the same. Copy and paste and paste. And that's fine. Press return. And we've got the last part, and then we've done all the hard calculations. So let's bring that down here, double click, we can see that we need to change it. So open that, drag that down. Okay, so copy and paste. And this one. Press return. Drag it down, open it up, make sure we've got that highlighted, and drag it down for this one. And we'll just copy, paste, and paste, and press return. And we are, I think, good. Okay, so we've then got a little bit of adding up to do. So let's use the auto sum. And we're happy with that. And we're going to fill down. And so we know what Peter Parker, Sarah Slim, and Tim Cahill are going to get in the week. Let's see how much they've all earned on each particular day. So we'll do a sum, return, and fill across. Okay, now because I've done this earlier, do make sure that when you are putting in figures, so obviously you will need to make sure that you go format cells. And in the format cells, you'll need to make sure that you have selected currency. You might not need to do it to 2 decimal places, but you definitely need to make sure you've got that. And I will need to do it again because I've just gone and lost them. So format cells, we'll go to currency, and we'll click OK. Okay, so we've done quite a bit there. We've looked at if statements, we've looked at VLOOKUPs, we've got absolute cell references. So we've really combined a number of skills that we've looked at in previous videos. Spend the time looking at the video, making sure that you do this exercise as well, and you will be certainly well prepared for your Excel assessment. So thanks for watching everything, and I'll see you in later videos. Bye-bye.